All right. Okay. A very good evening, guys. Can you let me know on the chat box if you can hear me clearly, if you can see me, and also if you can see a screen? Yes. Let me know on the chat box that if it's all okay, so we can start. Is others? A few are fine. Others, can you all also hear me? Can you all hear me? Can you all see a screen? Can you all see me as well? Let me know. Quickly, we'll get, start. Send a message on chat box so that I know that you all are also here and that you all have not left the phone, no, your laptop and gone for a walk. Yeah. Right. Okay. So most of you look like you're here, right? A few are still joining. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes, right? I usually do start on uh, time. If it's three, it's three. I don't usually prefer wasting a lot of time because I feel that it's, time is valuable, right? At the end of the day. So in now, I'll just wait for a couple of minutes anyway, since this is the very first class. Since some of you all are still joining, there might be power cuts. I am also expecting a power cut now. My usually current goes from 3 to 4, right? But I've set up today. I have got a backup Wi-Fi. I've got all of that, so I think that should be okay, right? So, guys, okay, just a quick question, right? Before others also come, just to break the ice a little. Is are you all looking at moving on to a new school after results, or are you all sticking with the same place? But, or are you maybe trying to do it private? Can you all let me know on the chat box, maybe? Are you trying to get into a new school? Are you staying in the same place? Are you maybe deciding to do it privately? Right? How is it happening? Just let me know on the chat box just to get an idea about, uh, what are you all doing? How is it going? Right. So it's like half of you all in the same school, half of you all moving. Right. Nice. No problem. Right. So it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter where you really school. It doesn't matter what you do. Okay. So I'll give you all a plan today. So we'll start, guys. We'll start and we'll get going. Today's session, I've broken it down into two parts. Okay. I've broken today's session down into two parts. The first half of it, I'll take around 45 minutes or maybe 30 to 45 minutes, I will say, to give you an introduction, a little bit about me, because I feel that's important, and also about the subject, right? What are we going to do? What economics is about? How many units are there? How can you get an A? What kind of attitude you need to have during the 2 years? So I'm going to spend half an hour with that. And then the next half an hour, we will most likely, not the next half an hour, the next 1 hour or more, we will focus on our unit. And we will end with a few MCQ questions, right, to see whether you all have actually understood the unit or not. So I think you all would have got a PDF tute as well. For those who are joining through iTutor, I would have sent one on the group. For those who were joining through Satya College, you all would have got, I think it would have been personally messaged to you, a small PDF of around 5 pages. That's the area that I'm planning to focus on today and get done. Okay, right. So I'm guessing most of you all are here, right? And is all of you all, I'm hoping you all have had lunch also, right? Some of you all must be having lunch right now while in the class. I'm hoping, some of you all might, yes, how many of you all are used to, have a small nap after lunch? This is like your nap time. Yes. After having lunch, you have a small nap in the evening, nothing to do also these days. No, not your nap time. I know, because I have a friend, right? I have my best friend. Usually after lunch, that fellow anyway wants to sleep, right? So for some people, this time doesn't work that great, right? Because I also usually, after school, I usually come, I come home, I eat, right? I also have a good nap sometimes. Right? It works, right? People get used to it. And it's a good feeling also, right? So given that everyone's here, right? We'll start, right? We'll start with how our classes would go and a bit of introduction to the subject. Right. So starting off, guys, a little bit about me, right? So like all of you all know, I'm Arshad, right? And I am a final year graduate, right, at the University of Colombo, Faculty of Management and Finance. I'm not very sure how many of you all are aware, how many of you all are not. So I'm from the University of Colombo. I did, I specialized in business economics. I'm actually done with my degree, but our graduation would happen probably in the next year. I've been teaching for from 2017 onwards, right after my A-levels, I did on. Yes, you can hear me, right? I'm sorry, I had a power cut. Can you hear me clearly? Yes. Can you all hear me? Yes, no. Can, right? Okay, right. So I'll continue, right? So I started teaching somewhere around in 2017, right after my A-levels. So I've been teaching for roughly around 4-5 years now, okay? And I schooled at St. Thomas's. That's where I did my A-levels. I got 3 A's, was among the top 50 in the island. That's why I first thought of getting into teaching as well, right? Because I felt that I've studied a lot. There's a lot of knowledge inside me, and I didn't want that to end with me, right? I wanted to pass it on to students, right? So as a result, I started teaching. At the very beginning, I had a few individual classes, like a small group class. That is how it all started, right? And then with COVID, we started Zoom classes. That's where I went on to a little bit of a larger scale. So currently, I do have a 2022 batch, a 23 batch, and so on. So in the 22 batch, there might be around close to around 130, 140 students. In the 23, we're looking at somewhere around 60, 70 in total. And then there is y'all, right? So we do have a previous batch for the 2024 students as well. And this is the new batch. I'll explain how classes work and how all of that goes. So on a usual day, how my day goes is I am working as well. I'm not a full-time teacher because I feel that I can do something a little bit more than teaching. So I work at an economic research firm, which usually what we usually study on a day-to-day basis. I apply that in my real life. I used to, we analyze government policies, we look at government tax changes, we predict exchange rates, we predict interest rates, what's going to happen. So we consult firms. So that's what we usually do. That's what I usually do on a daily basis. So my work is very flexible though. We don't have to go all 5 times a day. Some days I go to office, some days I'm working from home. Now, even today, I'm working from home. That's why I'm able to do this class also at this moment. So it's a very flexible place. And through that, I think I also learn a lot because I practically apply what we learn and I bring in a lot from my workplace to my classes because we get to know what actually is happening. So I'm not just that typical teacher who is looking at a teacher's guide and teaching. I usually, apply all what we learn in real life. Yes, I'm also from Colombo, so I'll come to that. From where do I live? So that is how it works. That's how my day goes. So in the morning, I usually wake up early in the morning. I have some office work early in the morning. I do that. Then I do my regular office work. And usually in the evening, I then start my classes. So the day is sometimes a little hectic, sometimes, not that hectic, and the day goes. So that's how my day goes. And that's what I've been doing on a day-to-day basis. And then a little bit, okay, so you all can guess how old I am. I did A-levels in 2017. So you all are doing A-levels in 2024. So I'm idly 7 years elder to you all, right? You all can do the calculation, which I hope that you all are good at, right? And then apart from that, I am also involved with a lot of road track work, right? I was the president at the university of the road track club over there. I don't know if you all are much aware. It's a social service thing, right? That gives me a lot of exposure as well. And I'm a part of a few case study competitions. I've represented the university. We do things like that. So yeah, and then I'm also from Colombo. I live in Mount Lavinia. Anyone else from Colombo, somewhere around Mount Lavinia? Dehiwala, Ratmalana? Anyone? Yes. Right. Okay, there are a few people. Nice. So okay. So I live in Mount Lavinia, right? So and yeah, that is basically it about me. And anything that you all want to know, guys? Anything else that you all want to know about me? Anything that you're curious that you want to know, you can send it directly onto the chat box. You can send it to me. You can select my name. You can send it to me. So I'll give you all like a few seconds if there's anything that you all want to ask. Anything that I missed or anything that you all feel that you all want. About me, right? I'll teach you about the class. I'll tell you what we're going to do in a while. Right. So it looks like there is no questions. Right. So we'll move on to a small picture, right? I like to is commerce easy or hard? I think it's very easy, right? I'll show you how you can get it done. Okay. Now I'm going to scare you a little, right? And then undergraduate in the sense, I am done. I'm done with my degree, but officially we did not have a graduation ceremony, right? So since it takes a little time, I'm officially done at the University of Colombo, Faculty of Management and Finance. So I was top 50 in the island, right, in 2017, and I decided to get into Colombo Uni, do management there. And I'm also not someone who, studied 24/7 O-level. I got 9 A's, right? Uh, I was not that smart during O-levels, but during A-levels, I actually, worked a little harder. So I'll give you all the tips and tricks that I used as well, which you all can also put into practice in your real life. Okay, right. So starting off with this, right now, I'm just going to give you a kind of a perspective. In average, if you look at the number of students doing A-level commerce, right, we have, guess how much do you all think is the average, guys? In average, how many students do O levels? How many students sit for O levels? You all must be more updated. How many sat for O levels in your batch? I don't want the exact number, but at least an approximate number. How many sat? What is the number? Close to? How many? Anyone guesses? No, you'll have no idea about your batch. I think for O levels, no, I'm looking at number. How many thousand? Is it 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 100,000, 200,000? How many do you think sits for O levels? If I'm not mistaken, roughly around 400 to 500,000 sits for O levels during a given year. Okay. From that, only around 60 to 70% get into A levels. Not everyone does A levels. So in average, if 500,000 students sit for O levels, from that, we will have around 300,000 students doing A levels. So A levels, you have the streams, you have the maths, you have the bio, you have the commerce, you have the arts. And from that, from the 300,000, we're looking at around 100,000 who usually do commerce. I guess I have the exact number, 518,245. Okay, so you were one of them. So in average, right, around 100,000 tend to do commerce. Now, from this 100,000 also, guys, it's broken down, right? There is the singular medium, there is the English medium, and the Tamil medium. So usually from the 100,000 that sits, around 80 to 90% are from which medium, guys? What do you all think? From the 100,000, which medium do you think has the highest number of students? English, singular, or Tamil? Is this just common sense? What do you think? The truth, guys, is the singular medium, right? The singular medium, from the 100,000 students who sit for A levels, around 80,000 or even 90,000 are from the singular medium, right? And then there is the Tamil medium. There are few students from the northern districts, eastern districts, some from the central province who are into the Tamil medium as well. The rest are from the English medium. So in average, if you're looking at English medium commerce students, we're looking at around 5,000, 6,000 students, right? Now, just a small question, guys. Now, you all know for A levels, you all get kind of like an island rank. Yeah. So you have the island first for commerce, island first for bio, likewise. Okay, so this island first for commerce, do you think he's out of all the 100,000 people? Or is that person only from do they have like a separate island first for English, singular, and Tamil? How do you think it works? Is he the island first for all or separate mediums? What do you all think? Just to, give you all a little bit of a picture, right? Actually, guys, it's not separate. It's a common one for all, right? So, for all the commerce students, right, irrespective of your medium, because why? Your paper is the same, right? All of you all get the same paper. So you all can be judged the same way. So from the 100,000, you all will, get your island rank one day as well. Once you all get your results, you all will see, there will be a number that says island rank, district rank, and all of it. So remember, that is out of 100,000 students that you get your island rank from. So then you will be wondering, right, is it impossible to get among the top 100, right? I think all of us would love to, right? Maybe 2 years from now, we would love to be at least, among the top 100 in the island. So look at the number, guys. 100 out of 100,000. If you are to come out of, right, you're competing or you're against 100,000 other students. And if you are to come among the top 100, that is a 0.001%, right? 100 divided by 100,000 multiplied by 100, That's the percentage that you get. So that's a very, very few people who actually come among that. Now it looks a little impossible, right? You will wonder, do you think me, someone like me, do you think I can get among this top 100? Right? There are 100,000 people, right? This fellow is not even talking about the first 1,000, he's talking about the first 100, right? So it's a little tough, right? Yes, this is not a percentage, it's a decimal, right? So maybe as a percentage, it's 0.1%. So a very, very few people. Yes, do you all think it's possible? Do you all think maybe 2 years from now, do you think you can be that person in that top 100? Do you think there is a chance, or do you think there is no chance? Do you think maybe? What do you all think? Okay, I'm sweating also without current. What do you all think, guys? Do you think, no chance at all? Okay, I'll also tell you something, right? I was also someone who thought there was no chance, but it actually happened. So what I usually do is I teach my students also the way that I did, right? Exactly, smart work. Okay, so I'll teach all with time, don't worry. That's the amount of competition that we're looking at in the commerce stream. Then if you look at right now, the big question comes, right? Some of you all, are wondering, do we really have to get into, get a really good result? Do we really have to get, 3 A's and do that? Can't we just pass A levels? Why can't we just get, 3 S's? Does it really make a big difference, right? That question comes, no. You all wonder, do I really have to get 3 A's? Can't I, pass this exam with 3 S's, right? That question comes to your mind. So then let me give you two simple reasons on why you should do well, right? Give me a second, right? This was my motivation as well when I was a student, right? Number one is I wanted to make my parents proud, right? Now, you all also, your parents might be right now around you all, right? Might be walking, might be your father might be at work, right? We never know. So if you look at it, right, I'll give you a small story, okay? A little bit of a story that really made me feel bad, okay? I remember after A levels, I got a job, okay? So I used to go to work, right? I used to go to work. I go by train, right? No vehicle, right? So we go by train and then, come home also by train. I have to be there by 9, off by 5. I worked for around 5, 6 months, right? And I actually hated the next day, right? I was waiting for the weekend, right? I know next day again, now I need to wake up and go. And then running to catch the train in the, the packed train, you're sometimes hanging, or sometimes you're in a crowded bus. It takes around, 45 minutes to go there. And then you come back and it's repeated. And then 5 months down the line, right? Now this is after A levels, I started working, right? That's how usually it went. 5 months down the line, I actually got fed up, right? I was tired of this. Okay. And then I decided, right, I'm not going to, because I was anyway waiting to get into university, right? I thought, okay, never mind, let me quit, right? I quit my job. I did something else after that. I learned graphic designing on my own. I did social media marketing, right? I did different things. I, made a living out of that. Now, if you really look at this, I was just working for 5 months, right? In my life after A levels, I was just working for 5 months and I was fed up. I decided to leave, right? Put this same situation into your parents. Look at them, right? At least one of them, or sometimes even both of them. Maybe if you're really rich, you might have another source of income. But in average, at least one of your parents are working, right? And if I ask you from when have they been working, from the day that you know them, they have been working, right? Maybe there can be a few exceptions, right? Yes. Oh, yeah. All of your parents, are they working? Yes, at least one of them. Yes, no. Should have been, right? Most of them must be working, right? And then think of them. Do they really have that choice like I had, right? After A levels, I was, I didn't really like to work, right? I decided I'm going to stop. But can they do that? They can't. Why can't they do that? It's mainly because of you all, right? Because they have a family to run, right? So it's not an easy thing, right? It's a very emotional topic at times. They've been working, and working, right? And it has all been for people like you all.
So then, right, I think it's our duty as children, right, to give them something back in return. Because after, for 13 long years, no, maybe for 14 years, right, you're in school for 14 years. For 14 long years, every single day, right, they've been able to send you to school, right? They've been giving you your food, they've been feeding you, they've been doing every single thing. And at least while you end your school journey, I feel it's, as a child, it's the child's responsibility, or even I'll say it's your duty to, make them proud at the end of the day. Now I'm telling you, getting 3 years is not the end of the world. Getting 3 years alone doesn't mean you're successful, you will be the richest in the world. No, right? I'll tell you how it works. But if you look at your parents, right, all of them would actually love to tell, right? Would love to hear or love to know that you actually did well and you got that 3 years, right? I remember, my parents, the day that my results came, I saw that, that tear of joy, right, from my mother's eye. And I felt that I've actually, given them justice. I think that is something that every student should work for, right? I think all of you all, 2 years from now, right, maybe a little bit more, when you all get your results, that look on your parents' face, right? That look on your parents' face should not be a look of regret. It should be something of so much of happiness, ideally with a tear of joy. And I'll tell you, right, you're not going to get any better kind of a satisfaction than that. Trust me, guys, it's so satisfying, right? And you, the moment you see your results, the moment you tell that to your parents, and the moment you see that smile or that tear of joy in their eye, that satisfaction you're not going to get anywhere in life, right? So that is the day that you realize that you did well, and you gave them justice for all what they have done for you. So that's one reason, right, why I feel you need to do well. So what are we talking about? We're talking about why are we going to do well, right? Why do we really have to get 3 years? Why can't we just get 3 S's and pass, right? So one reason why you need to do well is to make your parents proud. Because please focus on that. The journey can get tough, right? Sometimes you'll always keep postponing studying. You will say, let me study tomorrow. You would say day after, right? When you always feel that way, think of your parents, guys. Think, why are you doing this, right? Your main motivation needs to be, look here, I'm doing this to repay my parents, right? If that will is strong, and if you really really love them, I'm pretty sure that all of y'all will do really really well. But my results, I got 3 A's, had a good EZ score, was among the top 50 in the island as well. That's reason number one. And the second reason why I wanted to do well was to get into a local university. I guess any of your plans to get into a local university? Yes, University of Colombo, maybe Japura, maybe Moratuwa. Yes, no plans. Yes, no, not even decided. Yes, some of you all do have, some of you all are still not sure, right? I'll just tell you how it works, right? Yes, at a local university, one, the degree is recognized, and the best thing is you get it for free. Now, I'm not someone who comes from a rich background. I'm not someone who is able to spend around 2 million for a degree. No, right? So my only sort of way out was to somehow do well and get into a local university. We'll talk about the benefits and all of it with time to come. I'll not waste a lot of time there, right? So those are the two reasons as to why you need to do really really well. Any questions on that, guys? Fine, yes. Are you all clear that you really need to do well? Yes. Your minimum target is a 3 A's, right? We can do even better, right? We'll try to get among the top 100 in the island as well. I have students who've done it. I've done it. So that means you can do it as well. Okay, right. Then with that, our ultimate goal, right? Now, I usually set the bar a little high, guys, right? Like I said, our minimum goal is to get an A. That's our minimum. We don't settle for anything less. You don't study for 2 years with me to get a B or a C. And the good news is, for all the students who have been there, right, for the past 3 batches, from the very beginning with me, right? Like you all are now starting, right? All of them have A's, right? That's something that I say with pride. They have an A for econ. I am not very sure about the other subjects. They have A for econ. There are some people who join, sometimes in the last moment, 6 months to go, 3 months to go. Now you have to be very reasonable. It's very hard for me to turn a student around in 3 or 6 months. But all those who have been there from the very beginning have got an A, and maybe even if the other subjects were not that great, the econ is an A. So I usually set the bar as a minimum that you're going to score, or the minimum that you will aim is for a 75. That's the minimum, right? We will actually work on, let's say, a 90, 95, which will push you to like an island rank level, right? The minimum is a 75, guys. So don't settle for anything less than 75. So ultimate goal, the bare minimum is a A. So now, if you want to get an A, right, what do you need to do? Now, the best thing, guys, is, right, your O levels and A levels are completely different, right? I have friends, I know people who had just one A for A levels, for O levels, right? Who ended up with island ranks for A levels. In the same time, I have friends who, got 9 A's for O levels, who ended up with C's and S's for A levels. So remember, guys, what you were during O level. That's why I don't usually ask students what their results are, right? It doesn't really concern me because I'm not going to judge you based on your O level result. A levels is a completely different thing. If you did good for O levels, great, right? I'm so happy for you. If you think you didn't do that great as you expected, that's okay. Because why? A levels is a complete separate game out here. And here, all of you all are starting from scratch. There is no one ahead. There are a few people who started learning around 2-3 months before you, but don't worry about them, right? All of you all are now starting at the same position, right? Even the island first who would become from your batch right now is just like you all, right? Who doesn't know any economics, who doesn't know any business studies or accounting or whatever other subject. They are also just going to start. So think, guys, think of a race. Everyone's starting, right? I'm not saying it's a competition, but practically think, right? Even the island first who is going to come from your batch is not someone who started studying 5 years ago. That same individual is also now starting exactly with you. So no one is ahead at the moment, right? Everyone is at the same level. So it all depends on how well you do in these 2 years, right? Now, you will be wondering now, this fellow is saying, how well we do. Does that mean 24/7 we have to study? No, guys, right? I'll tell you how I did it, right? How someone like me with doing everything around, if I can come among the top 50 in the island, you can definitely do that, right? So what do you need to get an A now, right? Okay, again, Azan there. I usually don't stop for the Azan because there are so many places Azan goes in different places, right? Sometimes one fellow says there's Azan, then there's Azan to another place, right? So I'll continue because I don't hear it, right? So in terms of an A, right? What you really need to get an A, the first thing that you need is you need to have the right attitude, guys. That's the most important thing. It's not studying 24/7, it's not doing that. The right attitude. When I say the right attitude, what is this attitude, right? I'm not talking about the attitude that sometimes you show your friend, or sometimes when you drop a text to a girl and then she tells she doesn't reply. Not that kind of attitude, right? So when I'm talking about attitude here, I'm talking about the can-do attitude, right? The motive that you can always get it done, right? So you should always believe in yourself that this is possible. That's number one. And the second thing, guys, is persistence. Now, what do you think persistence is? Anyone? What do you think persistence mean? What's the word? What's the meaning? Or maybe a similar word? Anything that, what do you all think when you all hear the word persistence? Guesses? You don't have to be right as long as you can guess. Concentration, close. Consistence, very close. Not giving up, keeping at it. Yes. Continuous work. Yes, exactly, right? So just like most of you all pointed, right? Guys, persistence means, right, continuous work, right? Now, today, when I told you all this story, guys, do you all feel very motivated today that you really want to come among the top 100 in the island? Yes. Are you very motivated now? You're thinking now, yes, these 2 years I'm going to really work hard. Yeah, you are, right? But if this dies off in another 2 weeks, that means there is no persistence. So, what is persistence? You continuously know what your goal is and you continuously working towards it. Not, one day when you come to class, now you're full motivated. This fellow said, I also can get it done. Yes, I will get it done. But now, 2 weeks from now, you're back to your usual self. You're not doing anything. That can't happen. So, it has to be continuous, little by little work, right? You don't have to study 24/7, right? Just 15 minutes a week would do. And then the remaining 10% is hard work, guys. So towards the end, right, when A levels is near, you will, sometimes end up staying up at night and studying. You'll wake up early morning and studying, right? So that kind of hard work will also be needed. Not right now, right? Maybe during the last 6 months for A levels, we can think of those. Not needed, not right now. So those are the things that you need. Then, simple, guys. I'll not talk too much about your A-level paper. We'll talk about that during another class. So your paper is out of 200. To get an A, you need 150 out of 200. So 75 out of 100 is a 150 out of 200. So that means there are 50 marks that you can get wrong. And the best part about econ is there is a very big choice, guys. Anyone? Yes, again, just a guess, right? So in the A-level paper, there are 10 main essay questions, right? How many of it do you think you have to do? Now, you all remember, right? In the maths paper, there are 8, you have to do 5, that kind of thing. How many do you all think, guys? There are 10 questions in the A-level paper, right? Econ paper, essay paper. How many do you all think you need to do? How many out of 10? All 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many? You only need to do 5 out of the 10, right? So there are 10 questions, right? 5 from the grade 12 syllabus, 5 from the grade 13 syllabus. You have to combine and do 5. So maybe 2 from this, 2, 3 from that, or 3 or 2. Somehow you have to choose a balance between the grade 12 and 13 syllabus questions. And from the 10 questions, you only do 5, guys. So that itself is a big choice that you get. You don't get that sort of luxury in the accounting paper or even in the business studies paper. Like you don't get that wide of a choice. I think business studies, it's 5 out of 8. And in accounting, I think it's 5 out of 7. I can't remember the exact numbers, but remember, for econ, it's 5 out of 10. And you have MCQ paper for 100 marks, 50 MCQs, 100 marks, 5 essay questions, 1 is 20 marks. So there is another 100 marks there. That's how your 200 comes. I'll not go into detail, guys. We'll talk about that with time. Then, if you look at our syllabus, our A-level syllabus, we have 12 units. The first 6 units are from the grade 12 syllabus. Now we are going to start, today we're going to start the first one over here. We're going to start Introduction to Economics, right? And then you have the grade 12 syllabus, unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you have the grade 13 syllabus, unit number 7, all the way to unit number 12. 11 and 12 is combined. That's why we have just one picture there, right? So that is how it generally works. So remember, your syllabus has 12 units. The first 6 are the grade 12 syllabus or your first year of A levels. The next 6 is your grade 13 syllabus, the second year of your A levels. The tutes, guys, I'll talk about it. Don't worry. Hold on. And then the time frame, right? Now, this is not July. We are somewhere around in December, right? Because your batch started a little late. Don't worry, right? So we are somewhere around in December. We are in December 2022 now. You have time until around August 2024. We're looking at 2 years. Maybe your exam can get postponed a little. We don't know that. But for now, usual A-level setup happens in August. So for now, we'll plan according to that. So you roughly have a little less than 2 years. If it happens in August, or maybe if it gets pushed on a little, you have around 2 years. So your ultimate result depends on how well you do during this 2 years, guys. It doesn't matter what you were during O levels, right? What your results are. I'm not going to even ask any of you all, guys, because I am not a person who judges you based on your O level result, right? You got 9 A's, great. just 1A, no A at all, fine, right? For me, all of you all are at the same level right now. We'll see what we can do for the next 2 years. And then that's the time frame. Then in terms of this guy, right, the moonshot method, this is something my econ teacher taught me as well. So I always say, right, you, guys, what does the saying goes, guys? You aim for the moon, you'll at least land on a what? You aim for the moon, you'll at least land on a you'll at least land on a star, right? That is how it generally goes, no? So you aim for the moon, you'll at least land on a star. We'll modify it a little, right? I'm taking this from my econ teacher. I feel it's very something that really hit me. So I'll say, we aim for the moon, you'll at least hit a coconut tree, right? So we'll forget about the star. I say, you aim for the moon, you'll at least hit a coconut tree. Now, what is this, right? When I say aim for the moon, we will aim at getting 100 out of 100, right? So 100 out of 100 means in your paper, 200 out of 2. So we'll aim for the moon, right? We'll aim to get all the marks that is there in your paper. We'll at least hit a coconut tree, because I don't think anyone in the history ever got full marks for the econ paper, no. But they would have aimed for that, right? So we will also aim for 200 out of 200. We are not going to aim for 75, right? We're going to aim for 100. You're aiming for the moon. You'll at least hit a coconut tree means, right? At least we get here, right? Realistic target there, right? Ideally, you can even get to a 95 kind of level. So we aim for 100 out of 100. We will at least then hit a 90 out of 100. That has to be your target, not just for econ, for all other subjects, right? Now, don't just study econ and ignore the others, right? From the first term that you do itself, when you all start school, work hard, guys. From the first day itself that you all get into school, aim for 100 out of 100, right? You will at least end up with a 90 there. And then what do I have next? Right. About our online class. Now, some of you all guys, now this is a thing, right? Some of you all, love to have a physical class. I agree, right? I know physical classes are a lot more fun, right? For the boys, you get to see the girls, you get to see the boys, right? It's fun. You have your friends around. Agreed, right? I'm not denying that. I agree with you totally. But studying online also has its own benefits on another side, right? So what I would recommend is, if you are someone who really wants physical interaction, right? I will recommend, maybe from your 3 classes, maybe have 1 class as a physical class, right? If that is if you really want, you can't, you have diehard, friends who would die for you, you can't learn without them. If you're that kind of person, maybe have 1 class as a physical class, right? But don't have all the classes as a physical one. Why? The reason is, guys, at the beginning, you only have 1 class a week, right? Manageable, right? 3 subjects, 3 days a week, or 1 day, 1 full Saturday, all 3. That's how it works. But when you go on and on and on, right? Now, towards the end, right? Currently, for my 2022 batch, we have 5 classes a week, right? We have extra doubt clearing sessions, we have past paper discussions, 5 classes. Imagine, right, if you're physically trying to go for all 5, and this is 1 subject, we're looking at 3 subjects, right? I don't know how many classes the others have. They also must be having at least 3 or 4. So you're looking at least around 12 classes a week, because that is going to be too hard on you, right? You can't physically go for 12 classes a week. You're just going to be exhausted. You're not going to learn anything. You won't have any free time. So that is why I recommend, if you're going, maybe if you really want it, right? If you really want that physical interaction, you're going to school also, right? But you, on top of that also, you want some physical interaction, maybe look at 1 physical class, but have a few online options also available, because that's going to save you a lot of time. Now you will not realize it, but you will realize it towards them. No, guys, classes don't clash with school. Don't worry, it's always in the evening or at night. Okay. So then the main benefit, right? I only teach online, guys. I don't really have the time to have a physical class, because I also work, like I said at the beginning, I work at this economic firm, right? Economic research firm. I don't want to give up on that, because I do a lot of things related to teaching also there, right? So the biggest benefit, guys, is you will never miss a class. Now, in a physical class, right, you might miss the class. There is no way of catching up. But in an online class or in my classes, how it works is every single class that we do, I will record it. Right? Even this class right now is being recorded. And I have my website. I will upload it into that. So then you all will be given access to that. You all will be given a what username and a password which you all can log in and you all can watch the recordings. And the good news is there is no expiry date. So I don't remove my recordings at 1 day or 2 days or even a week. It would be there until A levels. There is a small restriction. The only restriction is that your account can't be shared with someone else. So if you are a paid student, you have an email and a password, only you need to be using it. If your account is logged in by multiple devices at multiple different locations, we can track through your IP address, then your account gets blocked. Apart from that, no restrictions at all, right? You can watch even 100 times the same recording on your laptop or your phone, right? Nothing at all. So even by any chance, if you're not able to come to the physical class, you can always go back and watch the recording. So you will never lose track, guys. So most of you all, I know you all will be involved with certain clubs and societies. Some of you all will play sports, right? So you might miss a class or two, right? Natural. You might have your family functions. That's there. But given that it's online, you will never ever miss a class. So you will never go out of focus. That's the best advantage that I see, right? Because in our times, if you miss a class, go on, guys, right? We can't, sometimes next class you don't understand anything. So, and then you totally, a lot of friends, they give up and it's gone. But in an online class, it doesn't work. So especially in my class, it will not work that way. We have a very organized system with all the recordings. So even 2 years from now, if you want to come back and watch today's recording, you still will be able to do that. Okay. That's one reason why I prefer online. And then the reduced cost and time. Now, you all know, guys, with the situation in the country, things are very expensive now, right? So Case, I know, just for a check, right? During maybe O levels, how much, I know, during last year or the year before, grade 10 or 11, how much do you usually get as pocket money when you go to school? At least for the bus, or maybe sometimes to get food, how much do you usually get? 50, 100, 150, 200, 100. Okay. So I remember, back at my time, I got 50 rupees, right? This was in 2014, right? I got 50 rupees. But now, just think, guys, trust me, you can't even survive with something like that, right? Think if you're practically going to go to classes every single day, right? One, think of the money, right? Your transport, if you're traveling by bus, that is going to be enough, 100, 200. And then think of the money that the time, right, that you would waste in the road. So all of that is saved, given that the classes on yes, you will get access to the website even if you join through Satya College. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, that's one. And then we also say it's more, there is more attention and easy to connect. Now, in very simple terms, guys, there is no one to distract you. In an online class, you're on your own. Right now, you're in front of your laptop or your phone and you're listening. No one is troubling you, no friend annoying you, right? No distractions unless your family is shouting around you. There is no other distraction that is happening. So that's why I feel that you need to be a part of an online class. I understand, I agree with you all, right? Physical is more fun, right? You get to know friends, right? All of that is there. True, agreed. That's why I told you, maybe if you really want that physical interaction, have at least one of your classes as a physical one. Try not to have all three as physical, guys. It will get hectic towards the end. Not now. Now you can manage. But you can't go to one class now and 1 year later you can't go to another teacher, guys. That's not going to work, right? Because then you will be totally lost. So think of that properly once you all make your deals. But on my end, I only have an online class. And then how do our class work, right? So what do I offer, right? The monthly fee is, guys, 2,500. And then in simple terms, I cover the syllabus 5 times, right? Before the A-level exam, I cover it 5 times. Now, today we are going to start our theory class. That's the first way that I cover the syllabus. I cover the syllabus through a theory class. That is what you all are joining now. And then one year from now, we'll start something called a revision class, right? I'll cover the syllabus again through that. Then I usually do a free past paper class, right? Where we do all the questions of every single unit of past papers, right? So I cover the syllabus through that, right? Then I usually do something called a fast track program. I usually finish the theory and revision syllabus around 6 months before A levels. I don't drag it until the last day. 6 months before A levels itself, I finish it. And then I do like a very intense program. Remember, our minimum is a 75. No? Target is to get to a 90. So in the fast track program, what I do is the hardest of questions, right? Hardest of areas of every unit, the hardest of questions, we do that then, right? So that is another program that I do, right? Towards the end. Then theory and revision is over. So instead of that only, I do the fast. And at the end, we will do mock exams, right? So mock exams, that goes on for around 3 months, right? We do around 12 mock exams minimum, very tough papers, right? Way harder than your A-level paper. If you can get an 80 or a 75 for that paper, you can definitely get, right? What? A 90 for your A-level paper. Yes, guys, these are all paid classes, but don't worry, it doesn't happen parallelly, right? So first year, it will only be theory, then revision. Then once theory and revision is finished, that means you don't have to pay for that. Then once theory and revision finishes only, fast track starts. One fast track finishes only, mock exam starts. So it doesn't happen parallel, right? All five doesn't happen parallelly. Past paper class we'll do in the middle, usually that is free, right? So these are all paid, but it doesn't happen parallelly. So roughly you're looking at a monthly commitment of 2,500 for theory. Maybe once we start revision, we are not decided on what the fee is. So revision fee also usually is like the same as the theory, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit low. And usually you get a discount if you come for both. That we'll talk about later, guys. That's not needed. For now, for the next 1 year, you only have the theory class. So we'll focus on that. So we cover the syllabus 5 times. Then, like I said, you can watch all class recordings an unlimited number of times. And also, all the printed tutes will be couriered to your doorstep. Usually, guys, I used to bear the printing charge, but these days, given that the printing charge is very, very expensive, right, and it's almost impossible to kind of bear at times with the monthly fee, so I now do put a tute charge on you, right? So usually how it works is I courier, there are 12 units now. I courier 333, right? So now the first 3 tutes are ready, guys, right? So first 3 tutes are ready. You all can pay and register. Guys, for December class fees is free. You don't have to pay any money. Our next class, guys, is on Thursday, right? Yes. For now, there will be classes once a week. I'll tell you all about the schedule. Don't worry, right? The tutes are ready for unit 1, 2, 3. Those tutes will be the ones that we will be using for the next maybe 3-4 months, right? We will be using unit number 1, 2, and 3. Per unit, the tute printing cost is a 400. So you can pay 1,200 and get the tutes delivered to your doorstep. You can collect it from Mount Leviney at my place, or else you can get it couriered, right? You can pay the courier charge and you can collect it. So that is how it usually works. With the tutes, I'll send you all a detailed message about that. So far, are we fine, guys? 5 times before levels. So before levels means 5 times before levels means I'll cover the syllabus 5 times in 5 different ways. Once in a theory class, a revision class, a past paper class, a fast track class, and this. Any questions, guys? Yes. Anything? Right. Now, the most important thing about your class schedule, right? I want y'all to listen to this very carefully. Okay. Some of y'all might be already knowing this, some of y'all might not know. Okay. Now, for the 2024 batch, we started a class around 3 months ago. Right? That is the ones who joined before results came. Now you all are joining after results. So there is a class that we started 3 months ago. So in that class, tutes guys, I'll come. Yes, don't worry again. Right? Listen carefully. We started a class 3 months ago. So in that class, we just finished unit number 1 and we just started unit number 2. So that is our permanent class time. So what is that time? Wednesday, 6:30 to 9. Usually we do 7 to 9 for now. Going forward, I will extend the time 6:30 to 9, then 6:30 to 9:30. It will increase a little, but for now, practically we do 7 to 9, but official time is 6:30 to 9 because I've put it so that you don't put any other class, because going forward, I will increase the time. So in this class, we are doing unit number 2, right? And now we have your new batch, right? Your new batch, today's class. So this class, guys, the official time I have decided is Saturday 9 to 12, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Right now, I'm not very sure if this is a time perfectly okay with everyone, but I'm guessing it's majority, it's okay with everyone. And that's one of the only free times that I have as well on my end. But the good news or the bad news for some is, right, I feel that since y'all are a little behind, right? So I don't want y'all to be forever behind. So what y'all will be doing as a new batch, okay, that is today's class, right? The new batch class, we will learn unit number 1, right? Unit number 1 is Introduction to Economics. While we learn this, so we have a class today, we have a class on Thursday, and then from January onwards, now next week is Christmas, then from January onwards, the unit 1 class will be on Saturday, 9 to 12. In addition to this, guys, parallelly, right, y'all also will be joining the permanent class. Now, this is our permanent class time, Wednesday, 6:30 to 9. So tomorrow you all can join, right? I'll send you all the link as well. You all can join tomorrow. In this class, we are doing unit number 2. Now you will wonder, sir, without knowing unit number 1, can I do unit number 2, right? I'll tell you guys, the good news is 1 and 2 is not connected at all, right? So even if you don't know anything about unit number 1, you can still learn unit number 2. So don't worry at all about that, right? Because I want to do that because I usually finish syllabus 6 months before, no guys. I don't want to, drag your batch, take it all the way until A levels. I don't want to do that, right? Because I have a separate plan. Only then I can get you to a 90 level. I am okay with that, guys, learning the 2 units parallelly. Do you think you can handle that? We'll work a little harder, we'll work a little extra so that we can do better. Is that okay? Because otherwise you all will be behind than the normal batch guys. You all will always be behind than the other guys. You all will think, those people have finished, I have not done this, right? So that's how it usually will happen, right? So we will parallelly learn, right? Okay, the times for second unit, guys, that's Wednesday. Wednesday, 6:39. And also remember, guys, this new batch class is a temporary class, right? Saturday 9 to 12. Don't worry, guys. You all will get the recordings of all of these classes. You all get the recordings, right? Don't worry. Every class recording is there. So even by any chance if classes recording is there, you can always watch and you can always come and clarify the doubts with me. No problem at all. So this new batch class, right? For unit number 1, I am planning to do it only in January and February. So ideally by the end of February, I will finish unit number 1 for you all. So parallelly, you all learn unit number 2. Unit number 1, we have a new class for you all. That is the class right now, right? By February, maximum by the end of February, we will finish. So in simple terms, guys, you all don't have to pay any fees for December, right? December, no fees. From January, you can pay the normal fees of 2,500 and join. Even though you all are joining both the classes, there is no double the fee, only one fee that you have to pay. So December, don't pay any class fee, but you can pay the tute fee of 1,200, get the tutes of unit number 1, 2, 3. Those are ready, I have it. For some of you all, I have already couriered who have paid and registered. From January onwards, you can pay the monthly charge, even though it's 2 classes. We don't charge for 2 classes, only for 1 class. You can get it, right? Is that clear, guys? The tute per unit, the cost is 400. Unit 1, 2, 3 is ready. So usually get everything together because otherwise you have to pay the courier charge multiple times. So you can pay 1,200 and you can get the tute of unit number 1, 2, and 3 courier to your doorstep, or else you can come and collect it from my place. I'm at Mount Levin. Yes, okay. The first batch, guys, okay, this one, right? So for the first batch, now, guys, I'll give you all a little bit of a, yes, you can pay it to Satya College. For those who join through Satya, can pay it to Satya College. Those who are joining through ITUT, that's the ones in my WhatsApp group, you can pay through that, right? No worry, guys, no matter which institute you join, it's the same thing, right? Same class, just 2 separate WhatsApp groups, okay? So now, right, you can drop me a message, guys. I'll send you my number, okay? So now, listen very carefully. For unit number 2, we have done around 3 classes, right? Now, most likely tomorrow will be the 4th class for unit number 2. Okay, tomorrow will be the 4th class for unit number 2. Maybe tomorrow, you guys please do join that. I'll send you all the link, don't worry. You might not understand 100%, right? 100% of it you won't understand because you were not there during the first 3 classes. So what I am doing specially for you all is I will give you all these recordings for free, no problem, right? I will create an account for you all using your email, right? I'll create an account, username and a password you all will get. Can you all, now most likely guys, once we do the class on Wednesday, next week is a holiday. Last week of December is a holiday. So tomorrow we have a class. Tomorrow is the 21st, right? Listen very carefully. Tomorrow, I'm talking about the unit number 2 class, okay? Tomorrow is the 21st. We are doing the 4th class for unit 2, okay? You might not understand 100%. That's okay, right? Come. Because the next class for unit number 2, right? Because 28th Wednesday is a holiday because that's the last week of December. We are giving a holiday. The next class is the 4th of January, right? So 21st to the 4th, you all have 15 days, right? Because do you all think if I give you access to the recordings maybe in another 2-3 days, by the 4th of January, can you all watch and catch up? There are around 3 recordings. One is around 2 hours each. 3 or maybe maximum 4. Right? Can you all do that on your end? And then I will have a special class for you all to summarize those because you all only watch the recording. No, you all were not there in the live class. No. So you all watch the recording. I'll give you all a deadline. Right? I'll give you my number. Don't worry. I'll give you all a deadline. So I'll give you all access as well. So watch those 3 recordings and come. I will then have a separate, maybe a 1 or 2 hour class for you all, and I will summarize it for you all. Then you all are perfectly on track, no problem at all. Parallelly, your unit number 1 class will happen, right? That no problem at all. From the very beginning, we will start. Is that clear, guys, or was it too confusing? Okay, just to repeat in very small terms, right? We are starting a new batch. We have an old batch. In the new batch, that is y'all, we are starting unit number 1. The class time, okay, listen carefully, right? We're starting a new batch that is for y'all. This batch, today we are doing the first class. On Thursday, we will do the second class. And the other time will be, usually we will do it on Saturday, 9 to 12. So we are going to start unit number 1 today. So today, the first class, Thursday, the second class. And then from there onwards, every Saturday, 9 to 12, we will do the class. So this one will only go for 2 months. Why? Once we finish unit number 1, that class is done. It's like a temporary class. So in addition to learning unit number 1 from the beginning, you will also be learning unit number 2 with the old students. Now, unit number 1 and 2 is not connected. So even if you don't know unit number 1, you can still understand unit number 2. So no problem at all. Don't worry at all. Don't be scared at all, right? I'm always there to help you all. We will get this done, right? Believe in me. So in this class, the class is Wednesday from 6:30 to 9. Usually we do 7 to 9, right? So this class, we have done around 3 classes now. For unit number 2, we started in the beginning of December. We did around 3 classes. So tomorrow, that is Wednesday, no, right? We are doing the 4th class. So I want all of you all, I'll send you all the link to join this 4th class. You might not understand 100%. That's okay, right? You will not get it 100%. That is perfectly fine. But still join, because why? I will also be giving you all the access to our website where you can watch the recording for the previous 3 classes. So tomorrow we have class. Next week is a holiday. The next Wednesday class is on the 4th. So there is almost 15 days between tomorrow and our next Wednesday class. So within that 15 days, you all can watch these recordings and catch up. And then maybe I'll have an additional session just for you all to recap these 3 classes and cover the part, right? That is what we will do. So our permanent time is Wednesday, guys. Just for now, you also have additional class on Monday. That's your new batch, right? So December classes are free, guys. So for whatever you learn for December, you can come for free, no problem, right? For the new batch, you will parallel learn unit number 1 in December, 2 as well. From January, once you pay and join, 1 and 2 again is there. Yes, how to get the recordings, guys? I will inform a method on the iTutor group. I'll send the message. For the ones through Satya College, I will also contact the admin, how you all got the link, right? I'll tell her to collect your email addresses and give it to me. I will get back to you all with that. Is that okay for now? Sure, right? So I guess don't worry, right? Now for now, it might be like too much of information, right? Any problem, you can clarify with me, right? I'm also very open for suggestions, anything, okay? So then we'll, right? So just to end, we took a little bit longer time than what was planned. So in very simple terms, guys, right? Remember, nothing is impossible. The word itself says that I'm possible. So remember, guys, if you work hard, now I'm putting you all a little bit in a hard situation where you're learning 1 and 2 parallelly, is I feel that right now you have free time. I want to, right now itself, if you can catch it up, then trust me, guys, things get easier. I don't want to make you all babies and just do 1 class a week, give you all the very easy things. I'm not a person like that. I usually put you to the deep end, and then, that's how we learn to swim. We don't swim in the baby pool and then go to the deep end. No, right? I throw you to the deep end, and then we'll see how you survive. I'll help you all to survive. Don't worry, right? And then trust me, guys, if you continue, if you do it properly, 2 years from now, you will itself realize how better are you than the average student. So this is my number, guys, right? You all can have it saved. Those who are in the iTutor group, you all must already have my number. So there are 2 institutes that I teach. iTutor is my own institute, right? So I am the one who coordinates there. And then we have Satya College, the other institute, which Miss Mariam coordinates and her admin. So some of you all are joining through Satya College. Some of you all are joining through this. Yes, there are some people joining through Syntax as well, a very few. So that doesn't matter. No matter which institute you join, you are still learning the same thing. You're coming to the same class. You're getting the same recordings, nothing different. The only difference is you will pay the fees for 3 different institutes. So those who join through Satya will pay it to Satya College. Through iTutor will pay it here, right? Others can join through whatever institute that you all like, guys. So you all decide whatever institute that you like, you can join. There is no restriction. There is no difference, nothing at all. This is my number, right? For those who are joining through iTutor, you all can, text me. I will do the needful. Those who are joining through Satya College, you all can text the person who gave you the link for today, right? You can text them, and I will give them the instructions on how to get the recordings, and also to how you all can pay to get the tutes if you all are interested. I'll let her know. So you can get it to them, get it through her. For those who are joining through Satya, the ones who are joining through Syntax and maybe iTutor, you can text me. I will coordinate with you all. Right. So far we fine, guys. That's the end of my first session. I'm hoping that you all have some idea about the syllabus, what you all need to do. Any questions? Yes. I will not be talking and talking again, right? Okay. So we take a quick break and then come and start the unit. I see some of you all are, I feel that some of you all are falling asleep also, right? So we take a small break for around 5 minutes, and then shall we come back at what time? Now it's 4:06. Shall we take a break till around 4:12? Yeah, around 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. So take a break till around 4:12. Just what you do is keep yourself on mute and walk around. Don't leave. We will start with unit number 1. We'll start to learn the actual subject. Okay, so take a break and come. 5 minutes. Come back by 4:12. Okay, right. So welcome back, guys. Can you let me know if you can hear me, and are you actually back? There's something on the chat box. You can say hi, you can say back, you can say yes, you can say send the emoji, you can say something even, right? If you're back, so that I know that you're back, so that I can count the messages. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Others, I'm hoping you have not just left your screen, phone, laptop, and gone. There are 12 others. There's still half of them not there. There's something, anything on the chat box, right? Can be a emoji, can be a hi, just, get rid of your lazy self. If you're on your phone, pick your phone, type and send. Right. Okay. So looks like there is around 25 people, right? Others, I'm hoping you'll have not gone, right? Okay. So we'll start. Right. So we'll start with unit number 1, Introduction to Economics. Now, to start off with the unit, guys, the good news is this unit is one of the easiest units in your syllabus. And from the 200 marks, guess how much do you all think you get from unit number 1? Any guesses? From the 200 mark paper, how much do you all think unit number 1 would give you? 1 mark, 2 marks, 10 marks, 20 marks? I don't know. There are 12 units in the syllabus. Practically just unit number 1. Any guesses? I know you all don't exactly know, right? So unit number 1, guys, from the 200 marks, you get 30 marks for unit number 1, right? 30 marks from the 200 marks. Usually, how is it broken down? You get around 5 MCQs. So 5 MCQs means 10 marks. 1 MCQ is 2 marks, 10 marks, and you get 1 essay question. That essay question is broken down, not a big 20-mark question. So it's a 20-mark essay question broken down into like 5 subparts, 5 or 6, 4 or 5 subparts usually. Okay, so that's how you get marks. So today's part, guys, is simple, right? I'll teach you all about what economic behavior is, what economics is, and I will teach you all something called microeconomics, macroeconomics. If we have time, we will also do something called positive and normative statement. Once we are done with that, right, we will practice a few MCQs. Okay, right. The paper structure, guys, in simple terms, I usually tell it to while going forward, but I'll just tell you. So you have 2 papers. One is paper 1. Paper 1, you have 50 MCQs. 50 MCQs. Each MCQ, you get 2 marks each. So total for paper 1, you get 100 marks. That is paper 1. Then you have paper 2. Paper 2, you have 10 essay questions. Paper 2, you have 10 essay questions. Remember, essay questions, there are subparts inside that. Don't think it's a one big question, not an essay. Right? 10 essay questions. You have subparts inside that. So you only have to do 5 out of 10. You don't have to do all 10. You have to do only 5 out of 10. One essay question will carry 20 marks. So totally 20 into 5, because you only do 5, you have 100 marks there. Right? That is how it usually works. That's the total paper structure. Then for unit number 1, what do you all get? For unit number 1, from these 50 MCQs, 5 MCQs are unit number 1 usually. From the 10 essay questions, 1 essay question is unit number 1. So 5 MCQs is 10 marks. 1 essay question is 20 marks. So total unit number 1, you get 30 marks. Right. So now we'll start with the unit. Okay. Yes, I want you all to be active. I want you all to learn this with me, right? Don't just look at a screen like that and, don't be like that, right? Give in your opinion, whatever you feel, right? Let's add into it, because usually little by little, I'll not just be teaching you all econ. I'll also try to work on your personality, helping you all professionally as well, because I am not someone who believes just getting 3 A's alone will make you successful in life. No, right? And if you think that is it, if you think studying 24/7, memorizing things and doing is going to make you successful, trust me, it won't. That is not how people become successful or how people do well. So there is a mixture of your education and also your personality. So to get your personality sorted, you need to be straightforward. You need to be able to communicate. So whenever there is a question, please respond, right? Okay. So we'll start off with something called economic behavior, right? What is this thing called economic behavior? Yes. Do you all know needs and wants? Yes. Do you all want me to recap? Remember, needs are the ones that are essential for survival. Wants are different ways of satisfying human needs. Do you all remember that part? You all would have talked like so many times, maybe in business studies also, you all would have discussed, right? So now I'm going to take one step ahead, right? I'm not going to teach you all what is needs and wants, because, we don't have to waste time there. You all know, if you look at people's needs or even wants, it can be divided mainly into 2 categories. Number 1 is physical needs. And number two, we say there are mental needs. Now, what are your physical needs? Your physical needs are needs that can be satisfied through the consumption of goods and service. So if you can satisfy something through by consuming good or service, we call that a physical need. Now, for example, one of your physical needs is the need for food, right? You know, you're hungry. It's not food, it's food. It's having a steak, right? Food, right? So the need for food. You all are hungry, right? But right now, I know I'm also not that hungry. I just had lunch a while ago. But how can you satisfy your need for food? You can maybe eat rice, a pizza, or something else. You can satisfy that through a what? Through the consumption of a good. Then the need for shelter, you can get a house. The need for clothes, you can buy a t-shirt or a denim. Like you can satisfy those through consuming goods and services. But if you look at needs like these guys, love, kindness, spiritual development, right? Forget about what spiritual development is. You all know what is love and kindness. Now, can you get love and kindness by getting a good, by purchasing something? Can you get love? No. By purchasing something, can you get kindness? So, what is the broad category of our needs, guys? We have physical needs, we have mental needs. What are physical needs? The needs that can be fulfilled through the consumption of goods and services. So, by buying something, by consuming. Now, consume doesn't mean eat, right? Food, eat, but even if you, for example, if you wear clothes, that means the consumption of clothes, right? So, through the consumption of goods and services, we can fulfill physical needs. But if you look at mental needs, these cannot be cannot be fulfilled through the consumption of goods and services. So examples, love, kindness. Is that clear, guys? The two broad categories. Yes. Can you give me a quick yes or a no? Physical needs and mental needs. Yes. No. Fine. Others around 10, 15 of you are okay. Hoping the others are also fine. Right. So then, guys, in economics, what do you think we look at? Do you think we learn about how to satisfy physical needs, or do you think we learn about how to satisfy mental needs? Any guesses? What do we look at in economics? Do we look at how can we find love? How do you get kindness? How to get a girlfriend? Are we going to study that? Or are we going to look at how do you fulfill your physical? What do we usually study? We're going to study, right, in economics. Sadly, I'm not going to teach you all how to find a girlfriend. How can you get love? How are you going to get kindness? Very sad though, right? I'll give you some tips maybe going forward in some other class. But in economics, what do we study? We study about how do you satisfy your physical needs and wants, right? We don't talk about mental needs. Very sad, right? For all of you all can do some Google search and you all can learn those. So now, what is it? Look at this. What is economic behavior then? We say the activities and behavior performed by people to fulfill physical needs and wants using limited resources. We'll talk about what are these limited resources, don't get scared, are called economic behavior. Now, what is economic behavior? Economic behavior is whatever activity, whatever behavior that we do in order to fulfill our physical needs and not mental needs, right? Now, for example, let's say I want to fulfill my need for food, right? What would I do? Maybe I would order some food through Uber Eats, or maybe I would go to a restaurant, buy something, right? That is what you call economic behavior. That's what you call consumption. So in economic behavior, guys, we have the production of goods, we have the distribution of goods, and we have the consumption of goods and services. Okay, these things are not very important, right? Don't worry, you don't have to memorize, don't worry at all, right? This is just the very beginning. These are not even mostly tested in the paper also, so don't worry. It's just to give you a little bit of an introduction. Don't worry about memorizing anything. Something is very important. I will let you all know about it. Don't worry. Okay. So once again, to summarize in 2 minutes, what is economic behavior? We have two types of needs and wants. First is physical needs and wants. The The other one is mental needs and wants. Economic behavior is whatever actions, behavior, activities that we do in order to fulfill our physical needs and wants, not mental. So in economics, when you talk about economic behavior, we are looking at fulfilling or satisfying our physical needs and wants. Is that okay? Step. Not very important, but have a basic idea of what we are getting. Any questions? Step. Right. Then I'll come into this part, the definition of economics. What does economics really mean? Okay, it's a very interesting subject. The best thing is in O levels, because how many people didn't do commerce for O levels? Didn't do. You all did something else. You didn't do commerce. Okay, there are a few people, right? Okay, for those people, there are a lot of people. Nice. What did you all do, guys, instead of commerce? I also had a friend who did agriculture instead of commerce. I know. What do you all do? I remember one of my classmates. What did you all do? Instead of commerce? What does the schools have? I don't know what schools have. My friend, he was from Norelia. You did Sinhala, right? Nice. Okay. Instead of commerce. Okay. The others? Okay, right. So there are a lot of people who've done Sinhala. Good. So this is Sinhala literature, is it? Single medium model commerce, no problem. Doesn't matter, right? There are a lot of people like that. No, instead of commerce. No, I'm not talking about single and medium commerce. Instead of commerce, did you do another subject? Like, like agriculture, like something else? You have done commerce either in, okay, some of you have done single, right? Okay. I thought single was a compulsory. This is single literature, is it? No, you all don't have to write down any notes, guys. This printed tutes will be sent to you, right? And you all have this PDF as well. Because even I did single second language. Oh, really? That is done instead of commerce. Okay, I didn't know. Okay, never mind. Right. So what is economics, guys? Yes, okay, we'll start. Right. I want quick answers from you. Can you all tell me, human wants, are they limited or unlimited? Human wants, limited or unlimited? Quick. What do you think? Human wants, is it limited or is it unlimited? Do we have a little wants or do we have so much of unlimited amount of wants? Human wants, usually we say, is unlimited, right? We say it's unlimited because why? We want so many different things. Now, for example, now I say I want a bike. Once I want a bike, I say, no, now I want a car. Once I buy a car, I will say I want a better car, right? Let's say I buy a Maruti, I say now I want a Wagoner. Once I buy a Wagoner, I say, look here, like I want a Audi. When I buy a Audi, I say, look here, I want a, let's say a Land Cruiser. Once I buy a Land Cruiser, I say I want a Lamborghini. So human wants are what? They're usually unlimited. Human wants are unlimited. That's something that we know. Can you tell me the resources that we have, right, to fulfill these wants? Are they limited or unlimited? The resources that we have to fulfill these wants, what do you think? Is it limited or unlimited? It's limited, right? Or we call it scarce. That means you don't have much, right? So the resources we have is limited. We have limited resources and we have unlimited wants. So what is economics about this? Yes, economics is the study of, right? It's a subject that studies how can people satisfy their unlimited wants with limited resources. That is what we are studying. So we are going to study how can people make the maximum use of their resources to satisfy as much as possible of wants that they can, right? That is what economics is about. So look at the definition. There are various definitions. Again, there can be hundreds of definitions. So I've just quoted two definitions. One definition says the subject which studies the relationship between scarce resources. What are scarce resources? Limited resources with alternative uses. Alternative uses means with your resources, you can do different things. Let's say you have 1,000 rupees. You have so many alternative uses. No, you can watch a movie. You can go to the, let's say, buy a, I don't put a reload, you can buy some food, so many users, right? So it's the subject that studies the relationship between scarce resources and human wants. Look at the other definition. The next definition says economics is the science. Now, you will wonder, sir, I started doing commerce because I don't like science, right? Because how many of you all hate science? Yes, maybe biochemistry, physics, you hate it. You don't like it at all. I was someone who hated bio. Like no matter what, I just hated bio to the next step. Right? I remember. I know how many of you all do that, but I just hated it to the core next level. Bio is not really my thing. So, sure answer. I was doing commerce. No matter what happened, maybe I was thinking of doing maths also, but then I didn't like chemistry. Right? So no, right? Commerce. So therefore, now economics is a science. Now you will wonder, say, are we getting into science again? Right? Now this is a different type of science. So when we say science, guys, there are two types. There is something called natural sciences. Now that is what biology, chemistry, those are all natural science. What type of science do you think economics is? Any guesses? One branch of science is only natural science. So chemistry, bio, everything is there. What do you think economics is? Under which branch of science? I have one correct answer. Anyone else? Political science? Close. Economics, guys, is a social science. What does social science? Social science means we study the behavior of people. We don't study about what is in the plants and the human cells and no, right? We study the behavior of people. So when they say economics is a science, don't think of natural science, think of social science. Can you give me some other subjects under social science? So under social science, we have things like economics. That is one. What else? What else do you think? Okay, maybe yes, logic, maybe okay, can be civics, okay. Things like, for example, history, social science, history, accounting, I don't think, I don't know if that's what I said. Okay, maybe political science, right? Okay, maybe health, yeah. So those kind of things, okay, media, right? So maybe those kind of things, right? So what is a social science? Social science is, yes, philosophy, yes, psychology, right? You can put things like that. So social science, guys, we study the behavior of human beings. We are not studying about, what's inside the cell and here's okay. How many of you remember the powerhouse of a cell? What do you call it? That's the only thing that I remember in biology until now. In a cell, that's the only thing that I remember. Powerhouse of a cell is called mitochondria, no? That I also remember that. That's like the only thing I can remember in bio. Do I remember anything? I don't think I remember anything else in bio, right? What I learned for O levels. What else was there? I remember there was microorganism. There was photosynthesis. I can't remember that also how it worked, but I remember, I remember a few experiments though, put certain stuff, but that's not bio also, that's something else, no? Right? The only thing we remember is mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So apart from that, right? Don't worry, we're not going to study those. We are going to study what? We are going to study social science. So what is social science? It's about the behavior of people. So here we say economics is a science which studies how unlimited human wants are fulfilled through limited resources. So in very simple terms, guys, there can be 100 definitions. But in very simple terms, what is economics? Economics is a science, social science, that studies what? That studies how people are going to satisfy their unlimited wants with just limited amount of resources. Is that clear, guys? What economics is about? Any questions, problems, issues? Fine. Yes, let me know if that is fine. Yes, say yes on the chat box. If it's no, say no. Is that part clear what economics is? Right? Okay. Then we'll get into our next part. Right? Don't worry, guys, these things we will recap again. I'm just giving you all now a small list. We'll study about the branches of economics, right? Now, I want you all to listen very carefully here because I will put you straight to a A-level question after I teach you this part, right? After I teach you the branches of economics, I'm going to directly put you into a A-level MCQ, actual A-level MCQ paper. Maybe the latest paper. We'll see how many of you all can pay very close attention and get it correct. So I just want to give you all a taste in the first class itself how the paper looks like. Okay, so pay very close attention. Right. So in branches of economics, I'll take around 15 minutes to teach this part and directly putting you to deep end after it. Okay, right. So there are two branches in economics. One is microeconomics. The other one is macroeconomics. There are two branches. I'm going to teach this one page that I have in the tute, guys. I would have added QR codes. I usually, make it a little bit modern, right? So it's a YouTube video that you all can watch. So I want you all also, I'll teach you all how to study, right? All of it. We will not be just studying tutes. That way we'll make it very interesting. Don't worry. So two branches of economics. One is micro, other one is macro, right? Now, yes, okay. Can you simply think what does micro and macro mean? What is the general meaning of micro and macro? Give me like two other words. Micro, macro. Small and big, right? Micro is somewhat like small, macro is something like big. Exact same thing. We will put it into here, right? So what is microeconomics? Yes, microeconomics is the study or is the branch of economics that studies only a small part of the economy. What is microeconomics? It's the branch of economics that studies a small part of the economy. In simple terms, we will be studying about individuals. For example, what is the individual demand, right? Then we'll study about households. How much is this household earning? What is their income? Things like that. And a firm's behavior, one firm, right? Let's say, for example, Cargill. What is their total revenue? How much units are they producing? That is what you call microeconomics. So what is microeconomics? Where you study about a small part of the economy. Maybe you study about an individual. Maybe you study about one firm. Maybe you study about one household, right? That is microeconomics. Then what is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics is where the branch of economics where you study the overall economy, not a small part. Now see, look at the examples. We study about inflation, right? Inflation is about the prices increasing in the economy. We study about, for example, unemployment. How many people don't have jobs in the economy, right? We study about, let's say, for example, exchange rate, right? Here's again, general knowledge. How much is Sri Lanka's exchange rate against the US dollar? Rough number, approximately, how much these days? How many of you all know? That's unit number 10. We'll study in detail. Anyone? No one? Really? No one knows the rough number? How much is the US dollar against the Sri Lankan rupee? Average. I don't want the exact number as of today. Average? Somewhere around 360, no? 360 something, yeah? So you know those kind of things, right? So those kind of things are what we call macroeconomics. Now, do we say exchange rate of a firm? Do we say exchange rate of a household? No, we say exchange rate of Sri Lanka. Overall economy. Do we say unemployment rate of a firm? Unemployment rate? No, we say unemployment rate of Sri Lanka. Overall economy. Do we say inflation rate of this one? No, we say inflation rate of Sri Lanka. Right? What are these? We'll talk about later. These are all other units that we will study. For example, exchange rate unit number 10, money supply unit number 7, exports, imports unit number 9, right? Inflation unit number 7, right? Aggregate output, aggregate income unit number 5 and 6. So don't worry what these mean for now. But I'm only trying to say what are the two branches. These individual topics are all covered in our entire syllabus, right? What are these? All of it is covered. Don't worry for now. What these mean, I don't want you all to know. But what I want you all to know is the two branches. What are the two branches? One is microeconomics. The other one is macroeconomics. What is microeconomics? Microeconomics is the branch of economics that focuses on a small part. So maybe it focuses on individuals, households, firms, right? It focuses there. So here see, microeconomics
study deals with what choices people make. So we are looking at, okay, what are the choices that people are making? What are the factors that influence their choice, right? And then see, look at the examples. We study about the demand and supply of a good, right? For example, how many mobile phones are supplied in Sri Lanka? What is the price of that? Right? Only one good. No. Are we looking at all the goods in the economy? No. We are just studying about the supply of one good. What is the demand for one good? The production function of a firm, one firm, right? The cost of a firm, the market operation of a good, right? Now, what are these? Don't worry, what does production function, market operation, those we will study in the units to come. Don't worry about that, right? Scarcity, marginal cost, choices. Now, again, we will study, but what is microeconomics again? Where we focus on a small part of the economy, maybe about one good, about one product, maybe about one business, maybe about one household, even one individual. If you study that, that is called microeconomics, the small. But what is macroeconomics again? Where we study the overall economy, the entire thing, the big picture, right? See, we look at the macroeconomic studies economy-wide phenomena such as inflation, price levels, economic growth, right? If household is a set of a group of people living under a common roof, right? Sharing a common budget. So usually your house is called a household, right? All those living under a common roof, right? Sharing a common budget. What is this common budget? We'll talk about later. Don't worry. Okay. See, national income, GDP. Now, when you say GDP, it's the total amount of goods and services produced by the entire country. Unit number 5 will study changes in unemployment. All of that is there. So, what are the examples? Aggregate output. What is aggregate output? The total output of the entire economy. That is aggregate out. Aggregate means total. Macroeconomics. Aggregate income, the total income of Sri Lanka. But if you add every single person's income, you get the aggregate income. Macroeconomics. Economic fluctuations and depression. We'll talk about that later. Inflation, that's the price level. The unemployment level, employment level, investment of the country, economic growth, economic recession, balance of payment, right? What are these? Don't worry again, right? These are all macroeconomic topics. Is that clear, guys, for now? Yes. What microeconomics is and what macroeconomics? The two branches. Microeconomics studies a small part of the economy, maybe individuals, households, or firms. Macroeconomics studies the overall economy. Looks at the economy as a whole, not individually, the entire economy. Same? Yes? No? Fine, others, guys? Shall I throw you into the deep end? Shall we try a past paper question? We'll see how many of you all can get this right. Yeah, we'll see. And don't feel bad even if you don't get it right. Okay, I'll just throw you all into the dependency. Let me find a past paper. Give me a second. One past papers. We look at the 2020 paper. Let's see if there is a question. 2020 paper there is no question. We look at the 2019 paper. Right. So this is the actual A-level paper. I'm not making these up. Right. So economics paper 1, August 2019. That is 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Right. Question number 1. Remember, you get 50 MCQs like this. Okay. This is the MCQ number 1. Okay. The branch of economics that studies the decisions of individual households and firms is called what? Macroeconomics, microeconomics, positive economics, normative economics, welfare economics. Can you quickly give me an answer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Branch of economics that studies the decisions of individual households and firms. What's that for? We just studied this. This is actually a little paper, right? I'm not making the question easy for you, don't worry. What is it called, guys? It's called microeconomics. No, that's what we just learned, right? Manageable, feel good that you can get a A-level paper question done. So you get 50 MCQs like this, right? Trust me, guys, if you pay attention in class, I'm not saying everything is going to be this easy. The units can get a little hard, but MCQs are not hard, right? We will show you. I'll give you another MCQ. Hold on. Let's try a different one. Okay, give me a second. Hold on.
Okay, sorry guys, the courier came to get some tutes, so I had to give it. Some of you all have the answers to the second one also. Okay, right. Anyway, I'll come to the second one, right? I have not taught you all that much. Okay, let me find another question. Let's check the 2018 paper to see if there is anything that we can do. Down. Normative, we can't do that. 2017 paper. 2016 and 15. Yes, 10 pages. Hold on, I'm finding a question. Okay, right. Now this is a little bit harder than the first one, right? I want you all to think. Okay, I'm recapping once again. What is microeconomics? Focuses on a small part of the economy. What is macroeconomics? Focuses on the overall economy. Okay, right. Now think, which of the following is a microeconomic statement? That means a statement that talks about maybe one firm, one product, maybe one individual, something like that. That's what we're looking, right? Be very careful, huh? Right. The price of rubber declined by 10% last year. Rubber prices have gone by 10%. Right. Unemployment was 5.8%. The real GDP increased by 7% last year. The general price level means the inflation data, overall economy prices, increased by 4% last year. The tax revenue of the government also overall economy, okay, decreased by 8%. What do you think is the microeconomic statement? Statement that focuses on one small part. Think guys. One talks about the price of rubber, first one. Second one talks about unemployed. Third one talks about real GDP. Fourth one talks about general price level. Usually that's like the inflation. First one, last one talks about tax revenue. What do you think is the microeconomic state? The statement that focuses on one small part of the economy, maybe one product, maybe one individual, maybe one household, which focuses on that, on one part of that, just one small part. Think guys, read again, read very carefully. Most of you all have given me the correct answer. Around 70% gave me the correct answer. Some of you all are a little off. Think again very carefully. Focuses on one small part of the economy, not the overall economy. Think which one of these are talking about the entire Sri Lanka, which one talks about only one small part, maybe one product, maybe one household, one business, something like that. Which one? Which one is your final answer? I'll give you all a few seconds if you want to change your answer. Overall, 60-70% gave me the correct answer. The answer, guys, is number 1, right? The price of rubber declined by 10% last year. So if you look at price of rubber is one product, right? Microeconomics. So we are studying about just rubber. We are not studying about the entire prices of the entire country. No, we are just studying about the prices of rubber. Microeconomics. But look at the other answer. Now, for example, unemployment. Unemployment means for the entire country, no? So unemployment was 5.8% means from the entire country, 5.8% of the people don't have job, right? Macro. Then real GDP. Remember, GDP means the total output of the entire country. GDP, gross domestic product. Is anyone, how much is Sri Lanka's GDP? Roughly in US dollar, billion, how much? Any clue? Sri Lanka's GDP, at least approximately, I don't want the exact number. Approximately, it's approximately around 80 billion, approximately, yeah? 80 billion US dollars. That's big. I've got just one answer that says 80. Right, good. Right, so that is GDP. Then general price level. General price level means guys the price levels of the entire economy. Now these are all we will study right now. Now you might not be very sure because you have not studied general price level. That's unit number 7, right? You study. And then tax revenue of the government, unit number 8. That also we will study, right? So which one is the, then what is meant by GDP? GDP means
the total amount of goods and services produced by the country, right? The value of the total goods and services produced. Again, we study unit number 5. Don't worry. So is that clear, guys? Which one is the microeconomic state? First one, fine. 70% of y'all got that correct. Few of y'all a little off, but that's okay. Step. Let me try one more. I've got the answer. Second one also, I'll leave that a little later. Right. So let me come. Let's see if we can find another one. 2014, 2013. Okay. 2014, right? 2014 A levels question number 1. This says economics is the study of. Now the definition for economics. What is economics? The study of what? It's the study of a little, not very direct to what I explained, but you can still figure out. Yes, we have to do a little bit more, then you all will understand better. It's the study of resources and full employment, resources and production, resources and choice, resources and efficiency, resources and this. Okay, this thing you can give a guess, guys. I have not taught you all this. I have to teach you all in the units to go. You can talk. You can just guess and see. Even if you don't get it wrong, don't worry, because I have to teach this. But you all think economics is about what? Remember we said limited bonds, unlimited bonds, limited resources. So how people are going to satisfy those, that kind of thing only we spoke of. So I'll not go into detail. The answer, guys, is number 3 for this. It's about scarcity and choice. We'll talk about how does that happen. I'll talk about later, guys. Don't worry. Right, that is that. Little bit off. Don't worry, we have not done that. We'll see 2013. I directly have a macroeconomic question. Macro, no, 2012. Yeah, 2011. Our last day. Hope there is one. Okay, now look at this. Same question repeated in the 2011 A-level paper. Which one? Branch of economics that study the decisions of individual households and firms is called macro, micro, positive, normative, home economics. It's called microeconomics. That's easy now. That's the best part. That's the next best part about the A-level paper, right? Sometimes they give the same question over and over again. Then you know nothing to worry. It's a very simple thing to do. Okay, last paper, let's say the 2021 paper. If there is a question. Okay. But let me color the answers because the answers are visible. Right. Okay. So this is the latest paper that students did in February. Right. Let's see how many of you all can get this right. Okay. Little bit tricky, but right. This one, a more complete short definition of economics would be that economics is the study of what? Is the study of how employment opportunities in society could be created to make citizens better off, how countries trade goods and services in the global marketplace, how goods and services are produced without damaging the environment, how unlimited resources are allocated among limited bonds, how scarce resources are allocated to satisfy unlimited bonds. See, be very careful with the limited. The unlimited can be a little confusing. They'll drive you off. See how many of you all are carefully picking up. What do you think? This is the latest paper that people wrote in February this year. What do you think? The more complete definition of economics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 talks about employment opportunities. 2 talks about trade. 3 talks about goods and services being produced. 4 talks about unlimited resources and limited bonds. 5 talks about scarce resources and unlimited bonds. What do you all think? Others also. Usually you can take around 2 minutes to do a MCQ, right? So for example, you have 50 MCQs. The paper is 2 hours. So 2 hours means 120 minutes. So 50 MCQs, 2 hours means you can take a little bit more than 2 minutes also, but I don't think you need 2 minutes for a question like this. Right? Fine. Everyone gave me an answer. 4 and 5 is very close, guys. Look at very carefully. Look at what is limited, what is unlimited. Be very careful.
Look at 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Okay, I'll give you a hint. The answer is one, either 4 or either 5, not 1, 2, and 3. That's all what you all also told me. Be very careful which one is limited, which one is unlimited. Is our resources the one that is unlimited, or is it the bonds that is unlimited? Be very careful. Right? That is where they have made a little trick. So which one is our answer? The answer is number 5, right? See how scarce resource, limited resources are allocated to satisfy unlimited bonds. Now see the fourth one says unlimited resources. Do we have unlimited resources? And they say limited bonds. Now see that is where it goes wrong. I think very similar. 4 and 5 is very similar. Only difference that they have done is they have made a little different. Right? So be very careful when selecting. Is that okay, guys? I all fine. Manageable, right? Not that hard. No? The A-level paper. Now this also without learning anything else. The others also you all will learn, right? Don't worry, even if you get it wrong, the other small parts under each MCQ we will learn in our units to come, right? So that is how it works. So I think most of you all, given that you all gave the correct answer, I'm guessing that you all were also paying attention and you all were on track, right? So I will ideally, guys, I will wrap things up for today over here. I don't want to drag the first class too much. We have our second class on Thursday, okay? Second class on Thursday. How many people remember the time? What's the time? Thursday's class? Time? No one remember? Nice, very motivated people. What time is your Thursday's class? Paper 2, guys, there are not much questions from micromath. They are not asked. So Thursday's class, guys, if I'm not mistaken, is from 10 to 12, right? Yeah, so Thursday morning, 10 a.m. to 12, we will continue from the second part. So we will start with positive normative, and I will send you all the PDF of the other part as well. Repeating, guys, from this thing, you can pay no class fee for December, but you can pay the tute fee printing cost of 1,200. I'll send you all the details on how you all can do that. That's the printing cost, guys. There is no profit, nothing, right? It's the printing cost per unit is 400. We have combined and printed it, right? So you'll get unit 1 and then 2 and 3 together. Okay, so it's it will be courier to your doorstep. You will have to pay the courier charge that depends on where you live, and you will have to collect it. That tute you all will be using those 3 tutes for the next 3-4 months. The next 3-4 months there is no tute printing cost that you have to bear, or even the courier charge that you have to bear. Okay. So that you all can do that. I'll send you all details on how you all can get the tute. I'll send it to the ones that I tutor in the group. For the ones at Satya College, I'll send it through the admin. That is optional. If you all want the tute printed one, you all can get it. Right? So for the first few sessions, I will share the PDF. Okay. Right. So any questions, guys? We can stay and we can clarify. If not, we'll call it a day. I'll see you all again on Thursday. Now Thursday, from the beginning itself, we will start our part, guys. We will do a considerable amount on Thursday. So as homework, right? Not real homework. Can you all just read through the first 2 pages of this and come? You all have the PDF of this. Can you all read economic behavior, definition of economics, and also micro and macro? And within the next couple of days, I'll try to sort the recordings of unit number 2 for you all as well. Guys, the unit 2 class tomorrow night, come for that also. Right? You all might not understand 100%. That is okay, because learn that. I'll give you all the recordings of the previous ones. For 15 days, you can catch up. Don't worry at all. So we'll wrap things up from there, guys. From Jan, ideally, I will not be sending the PDF, right? So we can call it a day for today. If you all have questions, please do stay and clarify. I'll be here to clarify all of that. So I'll stop the recording from here. Thank you and have a nice night.